What's up guys, it's Skill up here with another Division video. This is my first sort of opinion piece, as it were. I usually do a fair amount of analysis on my channel, but I wouldn't mind being able to sort of share my personal thoughts on things from time to time. So I guess I kind of wanted to talk about some videos that I've made recently that have been getting a really mixed reaction. I made a video called SMGs, why SMGs are too strong with math to prove it, and in that I sort of advocated this idea that SMGs are just overwhelmingly powerful at the moment and they're really dominating the current meta, and I was predicting that they would get some adjustments, some nerfs essentially, because of just how strong they were. And I've also just released another video where I talk about the talent balanced and why the talent is really super strong right now, because essentially balanced pushes out the need for you to stack any accuracy on your weapon at all, and it completely negates your reticle bloom, meaning that that whole mechanic around reticle bloom is just completely removed from the game. I think that's a bit silly, to be honest with you, in the sense that this is obviously a mechanic that the developers have implemented, and that one that we should contend with when we're using a marksman rifle. They shouldn't just be like these pinpoint lasers that we can sort of point and shoot as we please. There should be some skill to using them, and balanced makes it brings things to the point where that skill isn't really required, and you can actually just fire at maximum accuracy, near perfect headshot chance with this weapon. And I just think that's a bit too strong, and I sort of predict that that will get a nerf as well. I actually predict that talent is bugged, and it will get some adjustment. So when I put these perspectives forward, people respond in a variety of ways, and I guess some people are like, yeah, that's cool, I agree with you, it needs some tweaks. Some people are like, well, maybe the answer is, to actually buff other weapons to bring them up to the point where they're as strong as these alternatives. And then some other people are like, the full bore, like, fuck you, Skill Up. People like you ruin Destiny. Calling for nerfs is never the answer, etc., etc. And I totally respect the opinion of all of those three, types of responses, because talking about the Destiny example, I played Destiny since Alpha. I'm a huge Destiny fan, and absolutely there's huge amounts of evidence within that to sort of say that nerfing weapons is very often not the answer. However, to be honest with you, sometimes nerfs are a requirement of really good game design. If we look at, say, something like, going back to the Destiny example, Vex Mythoclast. Now Vex, this is a weapon that dropped back in Destiny and Vanilla, and it just completely crushed everything. I mean, it was just an absolute monster in PvE, and in particular PvP. It was so dominant that it pushed every other weapon off the off the table, so to speak, and really brought time to kill down in Destiny massively. So the developers took to nerfing it really hard, which was overall a really great thing for game health, I think, because it made other weapons far more viable. But obviously it was way less fun to use the Vex Mythoclast, and in fact they over-nerfed that weapon to the point where it was basically not viable at all. So there is, I think, a really good example of what happens, when it comes to these sorts of discussions about buffing or nerfing. Clearly the answer with that weapon in particular was not to buff every other weapon so it was as strong as the Vex Mythoclast, because that would kind of just break PvP, to be honest, and break most of the game. An adjustment needed to happen there, but it's a case of how hard do you go? Like, how much do you nerf something to bring it to the point where it is appropriate? And there's lots of other examples like this. If any of you have played, say, World of Warcraft, there's always times when a certain class or spec is just way too strong and they crush every other class. So is the answer in that instance to buff all of the other classes so they become as strong as that one? Maybe, but I don't think so, because I kind of think, well, content as created by the developers is created on a certain power budget. They sort of predict how much power you and your group will have to bring down that content. And if all of you are super strong, then that content is just going to fall over way too quickly, and the game will be too easy, and things things will become boring, you know? If we take, say, SMGs right now in the division, they are so strong that they are really pushing out most other options off the table, you know? So is the answer to nerf SMGs? Maybe. Is the answer to buff all other weapon types so that they are then as strong as SMGs? Maybe, you know. I kind of think the answer is a little bit in the middle, whereby certainly I think other weapon types do need some buffs. They don't have the same sort of identity that the SMG does, and they certainly don't function as well as the SMG does. So there's definitely an argument to bring other weapons up in terms of their power. But similarly, there's also, I think, an argument to maybe tone SMGs down a little bit, because they just seem so strong, and the way that you're able to benefit from critical chance, critical damage, and bonus headshot damage, and stack all of those things on top of each other is really a massive recipe for just very, very strong damage that kind of feels like it might be out of kilter. Similarly, when we talk about balanced, that talent that significantly increases your accuracy on your marksman rifle, you know, again, that's actually pushing out all other marksman rifles that don't have that talent. You know, when I put up this video just recently or just today that talked about this one very good marksman rifle on sale in the base of operations that didn't have balanced, many of the comments that people put down immediately were, you know, oh, this item is trash, it doesn't have balanced. You must have balanced on a DMR, on a marksman rifle, for it to be a useful weapon. Now, when we get to a point where one talent becomes a prerequisite for a weapon to be useful to you, and you will pretty much ignore any weapon that doesn't have that talent, then there's probably a problem with that talent. It's probably too strong, which is why I think that the developers are probably going to look at that talent and they're probably going to make some adjustments. Now, I guess I come at this from a very sort of analytical angle, in the sense that I spend a lot of time, you know, looking at these weapons in detail and studying them and comparing them, because that's kind of my thing. But absolutely, I am not like the font of all knowledge on this, and I will absolutely get heaps of things wrong. And this is purely just my opinion and my perspective on things, you know. But I guess I do sort of communicate what I think about things, because more than anything else, I actually really like this game and I really want it to be fun, you know. And the suggestion that, you know, like Skill Up is this guy that loves to nerf things and he wants to make the game less fun, it really couldn't be further from the truth. Like, I actually, as I said, love this game, and I actually think that, you know, if the developers make targeted interventions to balance certain talents and weapons that bring us a broader spectrum to choose from, to bring us more weapons and more talents to choose from, then that's only going to result in a much more fun game. You know, that's a better game right there when we have a broader spectrum of choice. And I guess as I do these videos and as I do this analysis and as I offer my opinion on things, it's only ever within the context of trying to get to that point, you know, of how to make a better and more fun game. So that's, I guess, I just wanted to sort of talk about that because it's a big theme that's coming through in a lot of the comments. And as I said, I really do appreciate it. I'm absolutely not rejecting that feedback and those comments. But I guess I just wanted to put out, you know, where I'm coming from with all of this. So, yeah, I'm really enjoying this process. I've just hit, I think, like 14,000 subscribers, which is just completely crazy. I never would have anticipated that when I started this out in January. But I'm really liking this, and I'm really loving all the support that I'm getting from people in terms of great feedback. And I'm also really appreciating the sort of more challenging feedback that people provide as well. So thank you, because I do listen to it and I do incorporate it and respond to it, and I do use it to try and make my videos better. So thank you for the love, and also thank you for the not love. You know, that is also valued in its own way. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's it from me. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll do some opinion pieces from time to time, but I don't want to do too many of them because I really want to focus this channel on that sort of analysis stuff that helps you get better at the game is what I really enjoy. But for now, that's me signing off. Thanks very much for listening, and I will see you guys in the Dark Zone. Bye bye.